was a smart, skinny, fragile-looking thing with big, beautiful brown eyes. Her skin was so dark, pure, and clear. She was a smart woman, an honest student in college, a sophisticated woman she was. But a mental illness would keep her from doing what she loved the most. Brenda Norwood was her name, now living in a sketchy, dysfunctional mental hospital owned by Dr. Edgar, an evil man. A mental hospital where Brenda continues to live her life for going on 5 years now. She's only 29, but by looking in her eyes, you can tell she's been through it all. Brenda rocks herself in the corner of her room, hugging her body. She's always alone, rarely talking. The only thing that uplifts her soul is the sound of an airplane flying above the institute. Brenda Norwood can go on and on about planes if you ask her about them. She knows everything that there is to know about them. Brenda fears her illness. She doesn't want to make a scene. She constantly looks over her shoulders, mind still set from when she was a teen. When getting close to her, you can tell she has a distinct fear in her eyes, hugging herself because she doesn't want anyone to notice her scars. The presence of myself, Nurse Abigail, helps her come out of her shell. She notices the deep red scar I have on my face, feeling the pain of what I've been through. Maybe I should have blended up my makeup a little better, or even bought a bigger patch. I feel close to Brenda. We can trust each other. She shares that Norwood comes from a well-off family that looked perfect from the outside. Her parents owned a pretty house on Victoria Road on the north side part of Fairfield, Connecticut. Her father was a strong man that worked at a bank located right in the city. Her mother was always a quiet, shy woman. Her only job was to take care of Brenda and the house. Behind the closed doors of our house is where the heartache comes from. The tragedy begins when one day Brenda came home from school and began lashing out, throwing things around, breaking things in the house, punching holes, and crying hysterically. No one in her family knew what was going on, but it wasn't the first time it happened. Brenda Norwood could hear her father's footsteps walking towards her, and as soon as she turns around, her father's big hand met her face. Brenda goes into fetal position, hugging herself as she feels her father's punches constantly touch her body over and over again, leaving scars and drawing blood. This morning, Brenda Norwood recognizes bigger bruises and handprints and scars all over her body. She hugged herself throughout her whole day in school so no one would see what had happened to her the night before. She was a smart individual. She graduated high school and college as an honor student. She went to school to be a flight attendant but didn't succeed. Brenda Norwood was a flight attendant intern for 2 days. Nothing would make her more happier than being 3,000 feet up in the air working with people. Through those 2 days, Brenda did not have one episode. She had the biggest smile on her face, getting to express and interact with people on the plane. Brenda shared this story with me and had the biggest twinkle in her eye.